If you own a 2010 to 2013 Toyota Highlander and your rear wiper goes bad or stops working, it's a common issue, and if you bring it into a local shop, they'll most likely tell you it's a motor, but that's usually not the issue, and you don't want to spend money on a fix that you don't need. On this car, the motor sits on the car side, and there's a linkage that is attached to the window side, and the linkage is usually what goes bad, with corrosion and rust. An easy way to check is to just open the window and put your wipers on. If you see the motor working back and forth, you know the motor is good, and it's this linkage right here that's seized up. It's an easy fix, and we're going to do it right now. First, we disassemble the linkage and the wiper arm. You put your fingers underneath this plastic piece, spread them out, and it'll pop up and swing open. A 10mm bolt holds the wiper arm onto the motor shaft. Now right here, I already have it loosened up, so it's going to come off easily. If you find that your wiper is really stuck on there and you can't get it off by hand, there's a tool you can get. I'll put the link to it below. It's a puller, and it makes the job really easy. After you have the arm off, there's a rubber boot, and then there's a lock nut that's pretty large. You take those two pieces off, and here is the most difficult part of the repair. This piece here, it's rubberized in the back, but from all the corrosion, it will not come off, and you can risk breaking your glass. I find the easiest way to do this is to use a Dremel and cut away material that's closest to the shaft of this linkage. You want to use a Dremel with a small cutoff wheel. You want to be careful not to let that wheel run off and touch the glass. You want to be careful not to let that wheel go through too far in towards the glass, just enough to get through and break some of this corrosion that's there, and it should pop right off. Now I already had this out, but I just want to go back and show you how this comes apart. This trim piece just pops off. There's two hard pieces of Velcro there and a few little clips that hold it on, but two 10mm bolts hold this entire assembly on. Here you can see some of that corrosion and how the back of this linkage doesn't want to move at all, compared to the new one that moves freely. Now we're going to reassemble this in the reverse fashion. First, I'll start off by cleaning the glass from the inside and out. When we mount this assembly, we want to make sure that the shaft of that linkage is as centered as possible in this large hole in the glass. Once you have that in position, go ahead and tighten down those two 10mm bolts. They don't need to be super tight. Remember, you're tightening onto a piece of metal that is affixed to a piece of glass, so use caution. Before I go any further, I'm going to close the glass, I'm going to turn the rear wipers on and see that it works. I know we're in business and we can put this thing back together. There's a key, there's a flat spot on this piece here, so there's only one way this goes on. You put that on, you go ahead and you put the large nut on, and I'm going to do this by hand. Again, we're squishing up against a piece of glass, and I don't want to use too much force. But by hand is good enough. We cinch that down. We're going to put the wiper blade back on, the boot back on, then the wiper blade, then the nut, the 10mm nut that holds that blade in place. Align it so that when your wiper turns on, you get the best view, and you're good to go. I like making these videos to show how easy it is to do some of these things on your own at home, and of course to save money while doing it. I'll put links below to the things I've used, and if you use my links, I'll earn a whole 17 cents.